this might piss off a few coaches, so I'm sorry if it does. But I think we've completely misunderstood the residual training effect inside team sports. And what it's done is create an obsession with making sure that every athlete needs to hit 90% of their max speed every single week. And why is that? Is it because they need the high speed exposure? And that was me. I was doing all the conditional formatting in Excel spreadsheets to make sure it went from red to amber to green every week so my players were safe. But it's not quite the truth, is it? Because we know so many things can happen. Do we think that if we don't do that, the players are actually going to lose speed? And I'm not sure that they will. Because this is where I think we've stopped thinking about coaching and transfer and actually just started ticking boxes. The residual training effect describes how long an adaptation persists after the stimulus has been created or is being removed. And that's the most important bit. The reduction of the stimulus or the complete removal of the stimulus. Now think about a team sport athlete. What do they do every week? They're training multiple times of the week, so sport practice. And inside sport practice, there's acceleration, deceleration, jumping, change of direction, chasing, attacking space, and then competing every weekend. And depending on the sport and position, they're probably being exposed to significant velocities anyway. So here's the question. What has actually been removed in that process? Because if speed and its underlying qualities are still being expressed through practice and competition, we can't blindly take a residual number developed in another context and use it to justify another training exposure. So I'm not saying athletes shouldn't sprint in season. Completely the opposite. I think they absolutely should. What I'm saying, the question shouldn't be, has the athlete hit 90% and above this week? The question actually should be, why does this athlete need this exposure this week? Maybe your winger hasn't hit 90%, and that could be a problem. Maybe training has already provided what they need. Maybe they're carrying fatigue, something we failed to acknowledge quick enough, but another exposure is going to actually cost more than that. Maybe their position rarely exposes them to maximum speed velocities, and so deliberate sprinting actually becomes more important. And that is coaching. That's context. That's decision making. And that is doing things through evidence and not ticking boxes because somebody told you that speed has a residual of 5 to 7 days or whatever you want to see. And I think that points towards something much bigger in team sport strength and conditioning. We love our rules because it gives us certainty. 90% exposure, tick. Heavy strength training, tick. Conditioning volume, tick. GPS target, tick. But you know, you can't tick every box and still never answer, did any of this actually improve the performance? That's why it's becoming, and I'm becoming more interested in subtraction. My book, The Sport Speed System, is all designed to help that and help you build your system. Question it and collect evidence. Remove what isn't actually contributing and refine what remains. Because great coaching isn't knowing the rules. It's knowing when the rules no longer apply. And it's a big challenge. And that's the exact type of work I've been working through with so many coaches on my 15-minute performance coach diagnostics. We take one real problem from your environment, interrogate the decision behind it, and work out exactly what needs to happen next. If you've got a coaching decision you're currently wrestling with, just comment diagnostic and I'll send you all the details, because these are the conversations that accelerate your process from being stuck, struggled, information overload to decisive decision maker on a high level, and the results will come because of it. So I look forward to hearing from you soon.